We are tracking breaking news this morning. Firefighters and police are on scene of a small brush fire burning near the Spokane-Cheney Memorial Gardens. If you are driving on Cheney-Spokane Road this morning, you will notice some emergency crews in the area, but roads are still open. Firefighters were called into this area just before 4 o'clock this morning. In the past hour, we have seen them working to put out some small hot spots, many still on scene at this hour. We are working to gather more details and more information. We'll bring you an update as soon as we learn more. Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM and streaming on KREM 2+. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together. Today, we are calling for a weather impact alert. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick here now to tell us just how hot it will get today. Thomas?
Yeah, good morning, Tim. And things are going to be about as hot as they've been so far this summer season, albeit the early summer season. Mid-90s for today. This actually would be our first 90-degree day of the year, falling just shy of that mark yesterday at 88. But the heat has been ramping up every single day for about the last 10 days in a row. And at this point, at 95 degrees, that would actually be a record-breaking high temperature. So it really does highlight that this isn't just hot, but it's especially hot for this early in the summer season. But here we go at 95 in Spokane. That would break today's record of 93. And our hottest spots will be in central Washington, as warm as 102 for the high temperature in Moses Lake.
A traffic alert for you this morning. If you use I-90 and US 2, be prepared for delays as WSDOT crews will be performing inspections. Road work started at 4 o'clock this morning and will last until 4 p.m. tonight. So we are told that there will be single lane closings in both directions of I-90 between Hamilton Street and just west of the US 2 interchange. That's a big stretch through Spokane. Most of the closings will be in the right lane. This road work will continue tomorrow and Thursday. 6:02, continuing our coverage this morning in the search for Travis Decker. He's the man accused of killing his 3 young daughters. Authorities reopened Icicle River Road and nearby recreation areas over the weekend in Chelan County as the search continues. The U.S. Forest Service is also allowing the overnight permits for the popular campsite to resume. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson activated the National Guard to search for Decker. Meantime, new court documents revealed Decker searched online how to move to Canada and for jobs in the country. He did this just days before vanishing with the 3 girls. Last Monday, investigators found the girls dead near a campground west of Leavenworth. The manhunt for Decker now focuses on West Okanagan County and along the Pacific Crest Trail. While the trails were closed, Leavenworth shops felt the impact of the manhunt. They had fewer customers, and campers and hikers had to change their plans. Bridget Chavez from our Seattle sister station shares the impact of the manhunt on the community.
The search for Travis Decker is still active, even as trails begin to reopen. With access to the enchantments restricted for days, local businesses saw a drop in customers, but a surge in hikers looking for alternative routes.
We were, kind of at a loss for where to point people because of how much was closed. There weren't really very many options left over. Have a good one.
For days, permit holders streamed into Durr Sportsman, asking where they could go instead.
We had a lot of people searching for alternatives.
The active manhunt for 32-year-old Travis Decker shut down thousands of acres stretching from the enchantments to the North Cascades. Decker is accused of killing his 3 young daughters and still hasn't been found.
There's several trails up in here that are, really popular.
For many, that meant changing plans on the fly.
To have their, main event kind of shut down, they're looking for another place to camp. And so we field a lot of those questions.
How's it going? Tanner Bombardieri says there weren't many options left.
We directed a lot of people towards some of the lakes up along Stevens Pass. And we also told a lot of people to go to the Chihuahua Mountains.
It wasn't just hikers and campers impacted.
The Icicle River is kind of a popular spot for people to go trout fishing, and unfortunately it was closed as well.
Climbers were also shut out of their favorite spots.
All the way up the road you've got boulders and climbing crags off to either side of the road.
Now with most trails back open, this normally peaceful mountain town is starting to feel a little more normal. But with Decker still out there, the tension hasn't fully lifted.
I'm sure it weighs on everyone's mind a little bit, he could be anywhere.
Authorities are still offering a reward of up to $20,000 for any information that leads to the arrest of Decker. If you see him, do not approach him, call 911. In Leavenworth, Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.
Again, law enforcement officials are reminding people if you see something, say something. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is asking people to review their doorbell and security cams. If you have any information, you're asked to call the tip line there on your screen. This is still an active investigation, and as we learn more, we'll be sure to update you here on air and online. This morning, we're learning a woman died in a house fire in Coeur d'Alene. The fire department says it happened yesterday morning. Firefighters put out the fire fast, but heat and smoke prevented them from getting inside the home. Firefighters found the woman in the home after putting the fire out. She later died at Kootenai Health. A small dog that ran away as crews worked was later returned safely. Investigators believe the fire was an accident. Happening today, the city of Spokane is hosting a town hall tonight. It's open to everyone, but is geared towards those who live in District 2. The town hall is happening at the MLK Center at 6 o'clock tonight. The meeting also comes as the city is looking for a new representative for District 2 after Councilmember Lily Navarrete put in her resignation. Right now, Lori Vallo's trial is underway in Arizona. Things got heated between Vallo and the judge over the case, so much so Vallo was removed from the courtroom. In Vallo's opening statement, she claimed to have no malice and wanted to spread love. Before the jury came in, the prosecutor pointed out they could rebuke those good character statements by bringing in her prior convictions. In this case, Vallo is accused of conspiring with her brother Alex Cox to kill her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreau. Brandon was not hid and took the stand to testify in the case.
You and I had never had any disagreements with each other. Is that correct?
I would not agree with that statement.
By the time we met in 2008 until June 25th, 2019, did you and I ever have an argument?
Is there something you're looking for that you're trying to specify? And I'm not sure I can. That's a broad question that I can't think of a specific time where we argued face to face. If that's what you're looking for.
Correct. So you and I have never had an argument in our lifetimes.
I wouldn't agree with that. I would say that there have for sure been disagreements between us, but I can't think of a specific time that I could share where me and you face to face argued. I'm not a confrontational person.
Vallo's brother, Alex Cox, cannot be charged in the case because he died before charges were filed. This morning, we are bracing for the extreme heat. Hot weather preparedness is top of mind for many people. Knowing the signs of heat stroke and heat exhaustion are so important. Heat exhaustion is a warning sign. It causes things like exhaustion, nausea, dizziness, fatigue, and pale, clammy skin. Exhaustion quickly turns to heat stroke. This is when the body's temperature begins to rise without being able to regulate itself and requires medical attention because of potential organ failure. Make sure to drink plenty of fluids and try to limit time outside during the hottest parts of the day. And we all know temperatures inside a car can rise fast. For example, if the air temperature outside gets up to 95 degrees, it only takes 20 minutes for the temperatures inside a vehicle to reach 130 degrees. As we see the heat increase in our summer months, remember not to leave babies, children, or older adults in the car for any period of time. This is also true for our four-legged family members. Many people may head to the lakes to cool off on hot days like this. The Coast Guard is reminding people to always wear a life vest. More than 100 people on average drown every year in the state of Washington. The Coast Guard says in 87% of drownings, the victim was not wearing a life vest. Keep in mind, the water temperature does not match the air temps, and the water is still much colder.
Think of it as walking into a shower that you thought was going to be warmer and that initial gasp. Well, instead of walking into a shower, you are falling into the Puget Sound, which is an incredibly deep body of water.
Later in our next half hour, a look at how the hot weather is impacting our drought conditions and fire danger.
At 6:10, another look at our weather forecast. Going to be very hot for today. Easily our hottest weather so far this year. For Spokane, it'll be our first day in the 90s, and it's going to be near record high temperatures throughout the inland Northwest today. So this early summer season, this first half of June, going to be really prompting some heat impacts across the region. So heat advisories issued for this afternoon. Extreme heat warnings at the same time for the hottest of those areas, including Moses Lake and Wenatchee. And along with that, for today and tomorrow, there are also red flag warnings, mainly for some of the eastern Cascade slopes. So the Wenatchee and Ellensburg areas are going to be under those. Those are just to the west of the inland northwest here. So today, just again, easily our hottest day. It's going to be a bit of that shock to the system. A lot of us blasting the AC this afternoon with high temperatures at least in the mid-90s.